Hello, everyone. It's Steve with Aptera Owners Club. I wanted to go through this Twitter thread by Jigger Shaw. And before we go through it, you guys are probably wondering who is he and why do we care what he says? Well, Jigger Shaw is actually the director of the Loans Program Office at the Department of Energy. That is the office that's in charge of the ATVM loans, the Advanced Technology Vehicle Manufacturing loans. And this is the loan that Aptera finished applying for, I think, a month or so ago. And this is, in my opinion, Aptera's best chance at getting large funding to go into full scale production. Because so far, the crowdfunding has gotten enough money to get the initial parts and to start ordering things so that the California grant can be matched. And so they've bought the Red Viking robots, and they've bought a bunch of other supplies and got things kind of rolling. But in order to get full scale production going, they need a large infusion of cash, and to this point, a large investor has not materialized that we know of. So I think the ATVM loan is probably their best chance. And Jigger Shaw is the director of the loan program. And when you look at his LinkedIn profile, he says that if you look down here, it says he's been the director for 2 years and 5 months. They have more than $40 billion in loans and loan guarantees available. All right, so they have $40 billion available. Aptera needs 50 million. So that doesn't seem like a big lift for them. And there's a blog that they run that you can go to on the Department of Energy website. And if you look at their June report, they show that they have about $125 billion in loans requested. So that means if there's 40 billion and 125 billion have been requested, there seems like about a 33% chance of getting funded if the numbers work out right. There's about 1.7 new applications per week and 150 active applications. Aptera is one of these active 150 applications. Now, Aptera is probably requesting very little money. I don't know how much money they're requesting. Maybe it's 50 million, maybe it's 100 million, maybe it's 200 million. I don't know how much they're asking for. I would hope that they would ask for more than they actually absolutely need. But I think that Aptera is probably one of the smaller loan applications in this portfolio. So it is something that I think is is kind of likely to happen based on um, the demands of the program, like what the program is made to do, which is to fund energy independence and energy efficiency in transportation. And Aptera is just kind of right up their alley. So anyway, let's look at this Twitter thread by Jigar Shah. He's talking about this uh, podcast called Political Gabfest, and it was this episode called "The World Is Burning," and where Maren Kogan, John Dickerson, and David Plotz were talking about extreme weather, heat, floods, and America's love-hate relationship with cars. And Maren Kogan had just recently written this article about the impossible paradox of car ownership, which is basically saying that in America you have to have a car really to survive. It's very, very difficult to live in America and function as an adult member of society outside of really transit-rich cities like New York City or Washington D.C. And you basically need a car, but cars are very expensive. Fueling them is expensive, maintaining them is expensive, and insuring them is expensive, and just everything about them is expensive. But everyone needs it. 88% of households use cars to shop for food. You need it to access healthcare, and about 92% of American households own at least one car. I'm surprised that that number isn't even higher, actually. So, anyways, America, as it stands, really you almost need a car to survive. Now that's not true in a lot of countries, and hopefully America can transition a little bit so that it's not a necessity, but just an option to have a car. But anyways, that's what they're talking about. And you go down here, and Jigger Shaw is talking about how that was a great podcast. And then someone writes down in here towards the end, someone responds to him and says, maybe we should redefine what we really need in a car. And so he has this little graphic that says, oh, e-bike. So as most of you guys know, I use a bicycle to get around 99% of the time. And it's kind of crazy that if you look at batteries to move one person around, if you have a Hummer, which all of you guys who have been watching this channel know my my thoughts on the Hummer. I think it is a abomination. But yeah, you need 2,000 pounds of battery to move one person around if you're a single person driving this Hummer. Which most of the time, these people that buy the Hummers, they're going to be, most people drive cars alone. You know, sometimes you're driving your family around and your friends around, but the vast majority of the time, cars are driven by a single person. And if you have an electric car, it's about 1,000 pounds of battery. If you have one of these lightweight electric vehicles, maybe 100 pounds of battery. And if you have an e-bike, maybe 10 pounds of battery. So maybe someone should redefine what we really need in a car. And then his response to that is very interesting. He says, that requires someone capable of changing culture. Certainly folks like Aptera Motors and Canoo are trying, but have not yet broken through. So I thought that this was a great thing that the director of the Department of Energy's loan program that runs the ATVM loan specifically calls out Aptera and Canoo. So definitely Aptera Motors is on his radar. He's aware of Aptera Motors, and he is seems like a fan of Aptera Motors, because he's saying that that he looks at these people are trying to change the culture of not driving giant, ridiculously huge vehicles around, but having kind of right-sized transportation. So anyways, this is, if you want to, I think he's a fun guy to follow on Twitter, Jigger Shaw, and hopefully I'm pronouncing his name correctly. But I thought it was a great thing that he is aware of Aptera Motors, that the director of the ATVM loan is aware of Aptera and seems to be a fan of Aptera, which makes me think even more that the ATVM loan is Aptera's best shot at getting a large-scale funding. All right, tell me what you guys think in the comments below. Thanks for watching, guys. Have a great day.